Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I am excited that you are tuning in for today's episode. I've been taking a short break from the podcast for a little bit, so I'm really excited to be jumping back in and sharing some of the things that I've been up to, things I've been focusing on. I've been wearing the Dexcom Stello CGM, so that's something I've been up to. I've been implementing some new drink routines, so I'm going to be talking about that today specifically. I'm excited to start sharing some of the things that I've been working through and just kind of reevaluating even in my own life and glucose journey and things like that. And so today, on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about my current drink lineup. A lot of different beverages and how I'm optimizing my health with that. And hydration is really crucial for blood sugar management and glucose balance and all of that. So I've been implementing some new routines in my drink game and want to share that with you. And again, like I said, hydration, super important, but most of us don't realize we're not drinking enough, or we don't realize how some of our drink choices are really negatively affecting our glucose levels and overall health. So I'm going to touch on changes that I've been making even just most recently and how I've started to build on this solid routine. And I even have my husband on board for pretty much all of this, and so that's sort of exciting because sometimes he doesn't always give in right away, but he has jumped in. He understands the benefit to some of these new routines that we have implemented together, and if I have a reason for what I'm doing, he can get behind it, and I hope you can too. So let's jump into today's episode. I'm Katie, and welcome to the GLUCOSEGLOWUP show, where I'm making blood sugar balance for non-diabetics not just important, but actually fun and approachable. I'm a girl mama, problem solver, wellness advocate, and someone who turned a deep dive into metabolic health into real-life results, like healing my insulin resistance and unlocking my fertility journey. This podcast is your backstage pass to everything I've learned, and I'm still learning about glucose, longevity, how to beat your cravings, and stop feeling hangry. Why does this all matter? Because when your blood sugar's in check, everything just feels better, from your mood to your energy and overall health. Here we'll talk about glucose tracking, eating for balance, optimizing your health, fertility, navigating the healthcare system, a holistic approach to wellness, and biohacking your way to feeling amazing for years to come. I'm in the trenches right alongside you, working daily to manage my own glucose and have more energy for the things I love. So whether you're ready to kickstart your health, deepen your understanding of how food impacts your body, or just want a relatable space to learn and grow, you're in the right place. Let's get glowing. So I just want to start with why I'm always reevaluating what I'm consuming. I think on a daily, weekly, monthly, even annual basis, things are always changing. I'm always getting new information. Something that I thought was pretty good for us is, sometimes turns out to not be as great as I thought it was. Things like that. And so even I can get caught up in reading the front of a label, assuming a drink is healthy. Social media influencers, even doctors and credential experts that are out there on social media can make me think something is a great choice. But sometimes they can get tricked too. And then, for me, then I get tricked because I believed what they were saying. For instance, I listen to a lot of podcasts or read a lot of blogs, and they may have brand deals with some of these companies. And I would say, normally they're pretty good, pretty solid, but oftentimes I still find myself questioning it a little bit because I know they're getting paid to speak about that product on their podcast or whatever it is. So are they really using it? I don't know. Is it a really good product? It could be. I don't know. One example, I did not use this product ever, but I definitely came pretty close to considering it. AG1, Athletic Greens, is a supplement company. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. It was definitely everywhere in the last year, and maybe even a little bit before that. But after digging into it a little deeper, I mean, it was like $100 for this, like monthly supplement or whatever it was, green juice to put in your drinks or water or whatever it is. I mean, it sounded like it tasted awful, honestly. But I found out it's just a bunch of junk. It's overrated. It's not really doing anything that it said it's supposed to do. And they're even teaming up with Starbucks now, which for me is a huge red flag, because what real health brand would partner with a fast food chain like Starbucks? Just seems sort of sketchy to me. So anyways, if you were doing the AG1 thing or Athletic Greens, I'd probably just like save your money and just drink or eat real food would be my recommendation there. Like, there's no like magic supplement that's going to give you like everything you need, but as far as I'm concerned, AG1's not the deal. So anyways, I really try to do my research for you guys, and if I'm recommending something, it's because I actually use it and believe in it. I'm going to do my research, and I'm going to share that with you, and then you can make your own decision. I'm not going to tell you, you absolutely can't do something, but I will tell you if I think it's junk. That's my opinion, and you can have your opinion. And sometimes, I change my mind after learning something new, and I'm going to tell you that too. Like I said, a lot of influencers aren't even using the products they promote. They're just pushing these brand deals. So it feels really frustrating and makes navigating kind of the world of health products and supplements and all of that is just exploding. It's just making it really, really tough. It's almost harder than like walking around in the grocery store, if I'm being honest. You're like constantly being served with ads like, this is like the best supplement. You need to take this if you want to build muscle. You need to take this if you want to get all of your, greens and stuff in. So for me, I think it's just really important to keep questioning what we're consuming, because for me, when I know better, I do better. So I'm not saying you need to avoid every supplement. I think there's definitely a place for a lot of them. But there's just little oversight in this space, so we just need to be really cautious as consumers. So that's some of the reasons why I'm always evaluating and reevaluating what I'm consuming and kind of changing things up. All right, next I want to talk about what I'm skipping, or mostly skipping, as far as beverages and how I'm like staying hydrated. Again, staying hydrated, essential for your health, longevity, glucose stability, athletic performance, if that's something important to you, that's important to me. I've tested most of these drinks on a CGM or glucometer that I'm going to be talking about. And while they don't always spike my glucose, that doesn't mean that they're perfect for us. Like, they could be spiking our insulin, which is a lot harder to track right now. It's not something you can easily track with it. You basically have to get a lab draw to get your insulin levels. So that one's sort of hard, but these beverages could be spiking that and we wouldn't know it. And typically your insulin is going to begin to rise earlier than your glucose. And so if you just get glucose every year, you're not going to know what's going on with your insulin. Sometimes we're all getting fooled by different things, but here's some things I'm skipping. And I want to mention, I am not a soda drinker. I don't do the sugar-free soda. I don't do that. Maybe if you see me at Culver's once in a while, because I just have a soft spot for Culver's here in Wisconsin, maybe I would get like a Sprite or something. Maybe. But I don't buy soda. It's not my thing. So I don't know that I need to put that on the list, but I'm obviously skipping that. I don't drink that or consume that. It's not part of my routine. So now that we got that out of the way, some other things that I have consumed that I am now skipping and deciding might not be the best thing for me today as they stand. Pre-made protein shakes. I don't love some of the ingredients. That's not really what this podcast is about today. I think that's another episode, but I don't know that there is one protein shake out there that's really like, wow, this is so awesome, like I need you to buy it. My mom recently was asking me about some pre-made shakes because she needed something that was easy for her with her circumstance she was in. And I was like, Mom, I don't know. I did send her something I found at Target. I can maybe include that somewhere. I didn't love it, but I knew that she wanted something quick and easy. But for me, I would skip it. There's just stuff in there that I don't love. Protein coffees, I've seen these. I think I've tried some. This kind of goes back to another episode where like the packaging says it's got like 20 grams of coffee. Okay, or 20 grams of protein. Okay, cool, but like what else is in there and what is that protein made of? Is it really beneficial? I mean, just drink organic black coffee. That's what I do, or I'll do like an Olay and I'll like froth some whole milk in there. Sugar-free Gatorade and Powerade. I feel like I was such a sucker for that, and it's like, oh, it's not that bad, and I feel like I'm hydrated. You know, if we would travel, especially on airplanes or a lot of hiking, like I just feel like it was a go-to. I knew that it wasn't spiking my blood sugar per se. I don't know what it was doing to my insulin, but there's also dyes and, again, other like yucky stuff in there. I think that's how I say it, the BAI drinks. I really, really love the blueberry. I think it's really good, but I don't know. I struggle with the natural flavors and things in there, and this is one that I don't know that I'm completely going to give up. I really enjoy it, and it's not terrible, but it's not like absolutely perfect like water or other choices I could be making. And then the Roar organic beverages are like so similar. I don't know if you've seen these. That and then the lemon water brand. All three of these I've kind of qualified as pretty decent. And those would be like the ones that sort of replaced the Gatorade and Powerade thing. And then, you know, kind of like reevaluating it. I'm like, I don't know. Like, are they great? No, they taste good. I like them. They work. Like if I would be traveling and go to the gas station, I'd probably still get one. And then something that might surprise you, if you've had the Element, LMNT, that acronym, Element drink packets, the salt water, I am no longer purchasing those. So they are quite expensive, and I used to think that they were one of the best, but I'm skipping them now. One, they're super expensive, and two, there's just been some recent issues with them in the last year that were brought to my attention, and I don't feel like they're a brand that I can trust. Just a little bit with the Element issue, just to kind of elaborate on that, because I feel like some of you may be consuming that or you like it. I mean, I like it. I loved the raspberry and the citrus. I loved those flavors. I had the orange a few times. I thought it was great. I always felt good. I especially loved them while I was breastfeeding. I thought it just like really helped me because I was working out, and it just like you need a lot of extra hydration. I felt like the extra salt was helping, and it tasted good. So I definitely was a regular consumer of that for at least a few years. And last year, so just some background. So Element claimed that each package only contained 4 milligrams of maltodextrin. And so this is something that's not on the package. It's hidden within the term natural flavor, which if you don't know, natural flavor can have over 100 different chemicals in there. And the food manufacturers do not need to disclose what's in them. Now, a law firm was investigating these class action claims against Element because maltodextrin does cause blood sugar spikes. So if it only had 4 milligrams, that's fine. Maltodextrin is a processed carb from starch, so like corn, potato, wheat, tapioca, or rice. And basically it's just used for texture and shelf life. But like I said, it's known to spike blood sugar pretty significantly, especially if you already have insulin resistance or diabetes. It can knock you out of ketosis if that's something that's important to you. And so it was just very misleading on the label. And basically they found out from evaluating and testing that there was as much as 300 milligrams of maltodextrin hidden within a packet, so in the natural flavors. So essentially, like I said, if you do have some of these problems where you are concerned about your blood sugar and you are hoping that it would knock you out of ketosis, things like that, it could end up contributing to metabolic dysfunction over time if it truly does have 300 milligrams versus 4. Like, that is a huge difference. So for me, just the transparency from the company and just overall, I was really, really disappointed because I wanted to like this. I really did. Thought they were good. I've always been weary of natural flavors, and I think that's why like some of these other drinks have kind of been knocked off of my routine because of that. And now with Element, especially, like, Element is still promoted by many big influencers and doctors, and I think with anything we need to be cautious. Do you need to completely cut it out of your routine if this is something you enjoy and you like? I don't think so. I think it's an awareness piece and understanding that it could be contributing to metabolic dysfunction at some point if you do have issues. And just, again, the transparency of the company, is that someone you want to give your money to and that you trust. So for me, right now, it's out. Okay, let's get into my current beverage lineup. I am drinking like 3 different things while I'm recording this podcast. All things I'm going to be talking about, so I'm super excited about this. If you have been around a little while, or maybe you know me, my husband obviously was just watching me go crazy. This was a few months ago. I just felt like there was something I could be consuming that would be really great for my health, protecting me from disease. Obviously, like, there's no guarantees, right? But if there's things out there that I could be doing, I'd like to kind of research and learn about them. And I had known about, matcha and its healing benefits and all of that for quite some time, but I've just never been able to find one that I like the taste of, where I didn't have to, like, put a bunch of maple syrup or honey and, like, just absolutely destroy it to, like, make it taste good. And so I went down this rabbit hole of just intense research one night. I mean, I don't know, it sounds bad, but I didn't look up from my phone for at least like a solid hour. I was just researching, listening to videos, reading blogs, like all about like the best quality matcha you can get. And I landed on Element Matcha, which is a high quality, organic, and third party tested matcha. It is wonderful. I absolutely love it. So I hit the jackpot on the first try. It tastes so good. I just drink it just as is. I have implemented that into my routine for like about 2 months now, and it has been really, really good for me. I feel calmer. I feel like I have more energy. What I did is I started drinking the matcha and I replaced my coffee for a while. I just felt like starting coffee right away in the morning wasn't working for me. I was sort of having some issues sleeping and then like just not recovering well from workouts and things like that. So I just got rid of coffee for like 2 weeks, which sounds really sad, but I actually felt like it was really good for me. And so I replaced it with the matcha, and I did that like every day. And then my husband got on board, and so we've been implementing that for just about 2 months now. And so here's some reasons why I love matcha, especially the Element. It's just really high quality, like I said, which is so important when it comes to matcha. Just don't go buy just some random matcha. Peak Tea, I have not tried it yet. That one's a little bit more expensive, but that one is also supposed to be really good and follows like all the same criteria that I'm listing here. And so matcha is rich in antioxidants, so it protects against free radicals in the body, boosts concentration and alertness. The L-theanine in there, it's very high concentrations in the Element specifically. I can't speak to Peak or other. My research was mainly focused on Element once I found it. But the L-theanine and caffeine, a little bit of caffeine, like 35 milligrams per serving, and you just like, you're not getting the jitters, you're just calm and like focused energy. It really supports relaxation and stress reduction. I've also been taking an L-theanine supplement too, to just as like a supplement to other things that I'm taking. But this along with that has been a game changer for me. Matcha enhances metabolism and fat burning. It detoxifies and cleanses with its chlorophyll content, promotes heart health, reduces risk of chronic disease, and it provides essential vitamins and minerals, vitamin C, A, potassium, and fiber. So I drink this pretty much daily. It has not now completely replaced coffee, so I still have coffee now. Like what I was doing is I was doing matcha in the morning and then having coffee like mid-morning instead after breakfast, so that was really helping me. But again, it's been amazing for my stress and sleep, and with the lower caffeine content, it's just like a gentle boost compared to a regular cup of coffee. Other drinks that I've been drinking, I mean, I'm still doing the organic black coffee like I said. I grind the beans at home and I do a pour over system. We've been doing that for probably over 5 years. It's been working really well for us. Like I said, I sometimes add whole milk. I was drinking it, like I said, later in the morning. The daylight saving week really kind of kicked my butt, so that made it a little tough to try and wait. Some of the brands I've really been loving, and I can link to that in the show notes, has been Stumptown, Peace Coffee, and Kicking Horse. Those are some of my favorites. Not an all-inclusive list, but a good roundup of what I've been drinking lately. All right, homemade electrolyte drink. So because I kind of ditched Element and, the Powerade and Gatorade stuff, like I needed something to sort of replenish versus just plain water. And so the base of this is coconut water, which is really rich in electrolytes, so potassium and magnesium, really great source of hydration. It's got some vitamin C and other minerals in there. So it is just a really, really great addition to your lineup if that's something you're interested in and care about. So I just have been buying the Kroger brand, the organic, like Simple Truth coconut water, which has been really great. I learned that there is a really, really big difference between coconut water sometimes, because my husband was just like randomly buying coconut water now to like try them all. And I was like, well, how different could they be? Like so far they hadn't really tasted that different to me. So I went to Aldi and bought theirs, and wow, Aldi's coconut water is super sweet. So if you like sweetness, and it's like not like it has more sugar in it than the other ones. It just was so sweet, like a different taste, and they were from Thailand. That's where it says the coconuts originated from. And the one from Kroger was the Philippines. So I don't know. But if you like really sweet, I would do the Aldi brand. But I did not enjoy that coconut water. So it was fine, like once I got it mixed in with all these other things, but plain I did not like. And one word of caution with coconut water for blood sugar. So it is like high in carbs and, a little bit of sugar in there. So like consuming a lot of it at one time could lead to larger spikes in glucose. Now, I haven't seen a really big effect on my levels while drinking this electrolyte drink, or even just a little bit of coconut water by itself, but I'm timing it around workouts and more activity, and I'm not consuming large amounts at a time. So it's just something to be cautious of, because it's not like there's a fiber or anything like keeping the levels more stable. So just something to be mindful of when you're doing this, or if you want to make this. Her daughter also has been loving just drinking a little bit of coconut water and some of this, we call it juice. Everything other than water is juice. So this homemade electrolyte drink juice has been really great for her too. She really enjoys it. So that's like, we don't buy apple juice or anything like that. So this is her thing. And she was sick for a while, so I've been making this for several months now. And when she was sick in the winter here, who am I kidding? It's still winter here in Wisconsin. But when she was sick, like earlier in the winter, I would turn this into popsicles. So I just made the drink and then just plugged it into the popsicle molds, and she loved it. Like, it kind of looked like ice, and she called it her ice popsicles, and she loved them. They were really great to get hydration, especially maybe when she didn't want to drink as much. Like, when you're sick, you don't always want to be drinking water, so this was really, really helpful. So something to keep in mind. So what is in it? I do the 6 cups of organic coconut water, 2 cups of water, a half teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt. I have one of those like grinders, it's like an all-in-one thing that I buy, and I just grind that fresh. The juice of 2 limes and the juice of 2 lemons. I've sort of played with the lemon-lime ratio a little bit, and maybe you like one more than the other. This has really been sort of my favorite. When I did not have it all like mixed together, I have just done like a small glass of half water, half coconut water, and then I just like sprinkle in a little salt and like a squeeze of the lime, and that was like pretty good for me too. So if you're in a pinch and you already have those ingredients, that's just a super, super quick way. Like if you're gonna go to the gym or something and you want a quick electrolyte drink, that would be super easy. So basically, I've just been buying lemons and limes in bulk. I did not think that was going to be me someday. I was like, why do people buy so many lemons? But now I know. And I'm still looking for the perfect way to freshly squeeze them, because that part isn't super fun, but it has been tasting really good. So that is what I've been doing in replacement of all those other things that I am not drinking anymore. And just one more thing, I got to plug this in here. High quality filtered water. So I have the Berkey, I don't know what's going on with Berkey right now, but I don't think they're manufacturing them. So I ended up getting replacement filters from a company called Boroux, which I will include that. So basically, yes, high quality water is a must, which needs to go into that electrolyte drink, and at all times, just high quality water. I'm going to share an article. There's just been a lot of stuff on plastic specifically right now, and plastic water bottles are just, so I would just skip them. I would not drink on the regular water out of plastic water bottles. There have been studies showing that like 100% of humans have plastic in their organs. Like from the study, that were like 100% of the people in that study that they were looking at, there was just so much plastic. And the plastic, again, probably another podcast, but it's collecting in the body and could be contributing to Alzheimer's and dementia, among other things, with just how much plastic we're exposed to. And especially like in the water, like it's just, yeah, the plastic water bottles are not a good idea. So I could go on and on about that, but I would consider, it's a gravity filter is basically what it is. So I fill up the top and the water goes down being filtered through. Pretty simple system. You can get reverse osmosis. There's other systems similar to the Berkey as well, but that would be something that I would consider. Just some final thoughts. Drinks and what you're consuming on a daily basis can make a really huge impact on your health, your glucose, your longevity. And while my lineup has evolved, I continue refining it based on new research, like I've said. And hydration isn't really just, it's not just like, well, you got to drink more water. It's really about drinking the right things. You know, I would mix in some electrolytes and water. And if you like coffee or tea, like those are really great things too. So something to kind of keep in mind where you're getting your caffeine from too, and how you're getting your electrolyte drinks. If you're buying a fancy supplement, just make sure it's something that you trust and you really believe in, and you're not just giving into the hype. So I hope this episode helps you rethink your drink choices and build a lineup that fuels your body for long-term health. Let me know what you think, and as always, I'm here to do the research so you don't have to. Keep on glowing, everyone.